Hi there. This video is an exam paper walkthrough of the Edexcel GCSE Mathematics Foundation Tier Paper 3 from summer 2023. This paper is worth 80 marks in total, and this is the third video of 4. It will focus on questions 17 to 21, which account for 17 of these marks. Edexcel Paper 3s are calculator papers, so a calculator should be used. A little disclaimer: there may be more than one way to answer a question. The methods shown in this video are not the only way some mathematical skills can be applied. Okay, let's get started. Question 17. The diagram shows the position of Tower T. So this is Tower T and they've drawn us a north line here. That's a good indication that we're going to be working with bearings. Town R is 55 kilometres from town T on a bearing of 065 degrees. So bearing of 065 from T. So they've drawn us the north line. And we're going to draw a 065 bearing from here. So a 65 degree angle. So I'm going to pop the centre of my protractor on T. And I'm going to make sure that this zero line lies flush with the north line. So this zero line here. And then we want a 65 degrees, so 065 from T. So we're starting at 0, we're going round to 065, and I'm making a mark there, look. So that's our angle of 065, our bearing. Now we need to figure out how far away from T this town is. So it gives us a scale of 1 centimetre is 10 kilometres. So we've got 55 kilometres. So that's kilometres, that's centimetres. So 1 centimetre is 10 kilometres, but I've got 55 kilometres. So I need to figure out how many centimetres. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide by 10. And that should tell me, hopefully, how many centimetres? So 5.5 centimetres. Okay. So get your ruler. So what you want to make sure is that the end of your ruler is here and that you're matching up with that angle as well, that bearing that you've plotted. There we go. And then we're going to go to 5.5 centimetres, which is here. So you draw your line, making sure it cuts through the mark you made for the angle. And then this point here at 5.5 centimetres is position R. It says to mark it with a cross, but I'm also going to pop R there as well, just in case. Question 18. Solve 4 inside brackets 2x subtract 3 equals 20. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to expand the brackets. So 4 times 2x is 8x, and 4 times negative 3. Remember, if you're not sure about negatives, you can do it yourself. 4 times negative 3, negative 12, equals 20. Now I'm going to add 12 to both sides to do the inverse of subtract 12. So 8x equals, use your calculator if you need to, it's not a problem. And then I'm going to divide by 8. So x is 4, goes on my answer line. Question 19. Jenny invests £3,000 for 6 years at Y% simple interest per year. At the end of the 6 years, Jenny has received a total of £450 in interest. Work out the value of Y. So we would have worked out how much interest for 1 year and then multiplied it by 6. So let's do the opposite of that. So 450 divided by 6 is £75. So they get £75 per year interest. So now I'm going to find out what percentage of 3,000 that £75 is. Okay, so £75 out of 3,000 and then multiply it by 100. Calculator is our friend. So £75 out of 3,000 multiplied by 100 tells me that it's 2.5%. So Y is 2.5 on the answer line. Question 20a. Simplify m to the power of 2 inside brackets all to the power of 3. So this is the power of a power rule. So what this tells us is that we multiply the powers together. So m to the power of 2 times 3, which is m to the power of 6. Part B. Simplify x to the power of 5 multiplied by x to the power of 8. The law of multiplication for indices says that if we have the same base, and we're multiplying, we then add the power. So it's going to become x to the power of 5 plus 8, which is x to the power of 13. Part C, expand. 4p multiplied by p squared is 4p cubed. 4p multiplied by positive 3p is positive 12p squared. Really important with these powers to make sure they're smaller like that, guys, so that they're clearly read as powers. Question 21. Johnny wants to know how much coffee he will need for 800 people at a meeting. Each person who drinks coffee will drink 2 cups of coffee. 10.6 grams of coffee is needed for each cup of coffee. Johnny assumes 68% of the people will drink coffee. Part A. Using this assumption, work out the amount of coffee Johnny needs. Give your answer correct to the nearest gram. Okay, so if there are 800 people at the meeting and he assumes 68% will drink coffee, let's find 68% of 800. And find out how many people Johnny assumes are going to drink coffee. So I'm going to do 800 divided by 10, which is 80, that's 10%. And then I want 60%, so I'm going to multiply this by 6. 80 multiplied by 6 is 480. So I've got 60%, I want 68%, so I need 5%, 1%, 1% and 1%, because then these will add to give me 68%. So 5% is half of 10%, so half of 80. And then 1% we divide by 100. So 800 divided by 100 is 8, and we want 3 of those. So these digits here are what we're going to add together for our 68%. $544. You could have also used a multiplier. You could have gone 800 times 0.68. So 544 out of the 800 people, he reckons they're going to drink coffee. He reckons they will drink 2 cups of coffee each, and each is 10.6 grams. So let's do 2 times 10.6. So we need 21.2 grams of coffee per person. And there's 544 of them. So let's do 544 multiplied by 21.2. Which is 11,532.8 grams of coffee needed. We need the nearest gram, so 0.8 means we're going to round that up to 11533 grams. So 11,533 grams of coffee. It's a lot. Okay, Johnny's assumption is wrong. 72% of the people will drink coffee. How does this affect your answer to part A? Well, we were working out 68% of people. 72% is more, so our answer will be larger. So will be bigger, more coffee would be needed. She's just simply explaining what's going to happen with that change in the percentage.